because I was just going to, YouTube family, what is going on? So in this video, I'm going to share with you guys what is really trapping you in middle class. What's really trapping you from getting to the next level. And the information that you're getting out there is completely all wrong. And this is why a lot of you are being still or trapped at the J, O, the B. So I want to talk about, the biggest thing is I want to talk about, people talk about cash flow. You know, most real estate investors, they all rave about cash flow. But I'm telling you right now, I got about 20 minutes and that's it. So let me tell you the problem with cash flow, okay? Cash flow is really for the middle class. Rich people don't care about cash flow, okay? Rich people, they don't care about cash flow. This is something I need you to understand. Middle class, all right? Middle class cares about having cash flow. So when they buy a rental property, so here's the problem. So middle class, when they buy a rental property, all right, they care about cash flow. Because you know why? Because they want to escape, right? Because the whole entire time, you're getting pitched by, hey, if your passive income, right, exceed your monthly expense or exceed your J, O, to B, then you can quit, right? So that's why the middle class, when they buy real estate, they're so focused on cash flow, all right? But dude, this will keep you trapped another 10 to 20 years at your J, O, to B, easily. Okay, let me tell you, here's the 3 things the rich cares about when they buy real estate. This is the 3 things. If you understand this, my friend, then your main focus is not going to be cash flow. Your main focus is to get rich. And how do you do that? Well, I'm going to show you how, my friend. All right? So here's the 3 things that rich people care when they buy real estate. Okay? Okay, here we go. So number 1 is location. Okay? Number 1 is location. So when people that have a boatload of money, when they go buy real estate, number 1 is they want location. They want to buy it in an area that the population and job growth is growing steady, right? And it's growing. That's number 1. Okay? It's location. Number 2, sorry. Number 2 is they care about, I know I misspelled this. But number 2, whoa, sorry. Number 2 is they care about appreciation. All right? That's why they want to buy in a location that will appreciate. Okay? Because real estate typically double in 10 to 15 years. So they are all about location and appreciation. They're willing to hold on to that property for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. All right? Because they know that the renter is going to be the one who's paying down the debt. So they don't really care. Okay? And then number 3, you know what they care about? Finally, number 3. If you understand this, my friend, you will not be stuck in the middle class anymore. Number 3 is they care about the biggest. This is the main reason they buy real estate. It's tax benefit, tax write-off. You see, my friend, the rich people, they don't care about cash flow. Cash flow is just like a bonus. Because you know why? If you're making between 100 to, let's just say, 500,000 a month. If you're making between 100 to 500,000 a month, answer me this question, TikTok, YouTube. If you're making between 100 to $500,000 a month, do you care about $250 or $500 cash flow a month? Do you care? Answer me that question. Do you care? Oh, man. Okay? You don't care. You see, you don't care. Because dude, if you're making between 100 to 500,000 a month, you don't care about the cash flow. You don't care about making $250 or $500 a month from your rental. Only the middle class care. Because you know why? Let's just say you make $10,000 a month. Only the middle class care. Because if you're making between, let's just say you're making $10,000, 5 to 10K a month, you're like, oh man, if I make an extra $250, that would be so good. And what they don't know is that vacant. What if the property goes vacant? What if there's maintenance? Now they're scrambling. They worry. They're like, oh my gosh, where am I going to get an extra 5,000 or 10,000 or 20,000 to rehab the property? For me, I got 14 rentals. If it sits vacant, I don't really care. I really don't care. I don't care if I have to write a check to pay the mortgage. I don't care if it's vacant. I don't care if I break even. Like, I really don't care. What I care about is that asset, right? That real estate is saving me 30 to 40% on my taxes. That is what I care about. Okay? Because your cash flow is not gonna save you, or it's not gonna boost your income by 40 to 50%. That cash flow is not gonna do that. You see? So a lot of people will be like, well, Khang, aren't you afraid that you can't rent the property? I'm not afraid. If it sits vacant, I say, oh, that's great. Nobody destroying my property, right? But once again, it's because they buy real estate, they buy it in a good location, okay? So they can get that tax benefit. So that way it lowers their income, their taxes, so they pay very little or none to Uncle Sam. That, my friend, is how the rich think, all right? So if you want to get rich, man, you got to think like the rich, dude. You got to think like an investor. Because imagine how many rental do you have to own to get to the point where you're making 10, 20, $100,000 a month? And if you're just in a middle class, if you're working at a job or corporate America, how many rentals do you have to own to get to that point? And this is why for a majority of you who are stuck at the job and you're thinking about taking the money that you've been saving, whether it's 50K or 100K, and instead of building a business, this is what you need to focus on. First is to get rich. And the only way to get rich, my friend, is to build a business. I've never met a W-2 earner that is a millionaire. I've never met one in person. There's no millionaire that I know that work at a job. You see, this is what a lot of you don't understand. You got to build a business. You got to get rich first. And then, because middle class, they don't think about tax write-off, man, because they're not making enough. So, you guys are not making enough money. So you guys don't worry about the tax write-off. All you guys worry about is cash flow. But the cash flow, my friend, is you worrying about that baby money. Make sense? So you worry about $250 a month. You worry about $500 a month. Rich people don't care about that. Even if they buy a rental in a good location, they know that they're going to break even, or even they know that they're going to write a check for $200 or $500 a month. They don't care. Once again, if you're making between $100,000 to $500,000 a month, you don't care to write a check to cover the mortgage. You don't really care. What you care, once again, is that it's going to save you 40 to 50%. So let's just say you make $1 million. Oh, man. Do you guys understand? This is why a lot of you... So let me share with you a story, all right? Before that, when Lon and I was working at a regular job, right, we were thinking the same thing, all right? Hey, go buy some rental, right? And then get the cash flow from it. But what you don't know is majority of people who are stuck. And that's why there's such thing as a tire landlord. All right, it's the mom and pop. This is the reason why that you find the tire landlord, that you're able to put their property in a contract, because they work at a regular job. They go buy an asset. They go buy a piece of real estate, right? And then what happened is that renter destroy the property, or the property sits vacant. They can't rent it. This is why the mom and pop, dude, they don't rent property out at market value, because they're afraid. They're scared. They're scared that the property will go vacant. And they are stuck at the job making $5,000 a month. And now they have to write a check. They have to write $250 a month. To them, that's a lot. So they're afraid. So they typically rent below market value. For me, dude, I maximize it. Whatever the market rent is, dude, that's what you're going to pay when you're at my rental. Because I have property manager. I don't care if the property sits vacant. Like to me, if I have to write a check $10,000 a month for all of my rental because it's all sit vacant, sure, cool. I don't even think about it. So what happened is, you know, they get into, now they're stuck at the J or the B. Let's just say the renter moves out. They're making $200, $250 a month, right? If you time that, if you time 250, let's say, okay, we take 250 times it by 12, bam. That's $3,000 a year, right? Let me see. 250 times 12. That's $3,000 a year. Even if the renter stays in there for two years, now you're making $6,000, correct? You don't just make $6,000, my friend. There's maintenance. There's repairs. Shit happens. Now let's just say that the renter live in there for, let's just say even 3 years. Let's just say 3 years. Most renter, dude, don't live in a place for 3 years. And then, so let's just say that nothing happens in those 3 years. Now you stack away 9,000. You'll be like, oh, hell yeah, baby. Got 9 G's. I'm doing nothing and I'm making $3,000 a year. You wish, my friend. Now what happened is when the renter moves out, you're F, dude. You're F. Because when the renter moves out, now, my friend, it's called a turnover. Now you got to go in there, you got to rehab, right? You got to fix the property up. And majority of the one that works at a J or the B, all right, they probably already spent the 9K. They probably already go out there and buy the Gucci, the Louis Vuitton. They already spend the 9K. But let's just say that they're able to stack it aside and save the 9K. With inflation, with material costs, with labor costs, do you think that's good? If you think 9,000 will be enough to do a turnover? Wrong. Dude, if you think 9,000 is enough to do a turnover, you probably don't own enough real estate. Dude, it's probably going to cost you at least 10K. New paint, new carpet, new flooring. That's if they don't destroy anything. So your 9,000 that you've been saving for 3 years, my friend, gone, and then you come out of pocket with another 1,000. How are you going to escape the JOB like this? You can't. That's why the people that are feeding you this information, they're wrong. And I know a lot of you talking about Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki talked about cash flow. My friend, dude, but this is just his personal brand. It's not the cash flow, my friend. Dude, do you guys know how much he makes from his business? I'm just guessing. I don't know the number, but I'm just guessing. Dude, Robert Kiyosaki probably makes between $50 to $100 million a year. Cash flow. Come on, man. Shit. So how does he buy all that rentals? His business, my friend. Do you think he cares if it goes vacant? No. You think he cares if people rent or move out and there's a turnover? No. Because he's making so much money from his business, from his active income. What he cares about, my friend, is not to pay anything to Uncle Sam. What he cares about is, that's why he talks about how he doesn't pay any taxes. Because all he cares about is, how do I make so much from my active, but actually get to keep it? And the rich, they buy real estate because it's a place for them to store their money. Dude, let me explain. Dude, you're not playing the right game, okay? You need to understand to play the right game, my friend. Okay, so if he's making so much money, he wants to park it in a piece of real estate, man. He wants to park it in an asset. Because if he don't, dude, your money is going to go down in value. But if you park it in an asset, in real estate, it's really a place to hedge against inflation. And then in the next 10 to 15 years, my friend, guess what? His net worth will double. So now if you're worth 50 million, dude, if you buy enough rental in the next 10 to 15 years, real estates tend to double in 10 to 15 years. Now his net worth is 100 million. Okay, and in that meantime, he's saving 40 to 50% that he's not paying to Uncle Sam. And this is something you don't know. So, dude, here's something else you don't know. Let me explain. I only got about 5 minutes left. So I'm trying to rush. So if I go really fast, I apologize. So let's just say if you buy a piece of real estate, let's just say you buy for 100,000. Okay, dude, you guys need to understand this. So let's just say you buy one house, a house that's worth 100,000, and then let's just say 10 years later, now that house double in value. Now it's worth 200,000. Did you know now you gain about $100,000 in equity, correct? Correct? And in that 10 years, rent goes up. So rent typically goes up $50 every year. Typically, it goes up $50 every single year to cover for inflation. Now check this out. Now, what Robert Kiyosaki do is he goes back to the bank. He take the equity out of the house. That, my friend, is called a cash out refi. So he can pull $100,000 out, and this money, my friend, and that is what he lives off of. Dude, it's tax free. So I don't know. I think Robert Kiyosaki owns like, I don't know how many rent, 12,000. I can't remember. But dude, the amount of rentals so typically, if you have $10 million rental portfolio, so if you can get to $10 million on your rental portfolio, did you know that every 6, 7, or 10 years, you can pull $1 million out? Did you know that? You can pull $1 million out, and that, my friend, tax free. So you can live on that $1 million and don't pay anything to Uncle Sam. Dude, that's the game that the rich is playing. You think they care about the cash flow, man? They don't care. So this is something you guys need to understand is you got to get rich first. You got to get the active income coming in first. And then once you got rich, and then you'll be like, well, now how do I save majority of my money? Where do I store my money? Real estate. And then you hold it for the next 5 to 10 years. Your net worth goes up. You go to the bank, you do a cash out refi, pull $100,000, $200,000, $500,000 out. If you live on $100,000 a year, my friend, dude, you get 500 G's tax free. Bam. That's the game that they're playing. Do you guys understand this? So for me, literally with my portfolio right now, I can go to the bank and pull $1 million out, pay nothing, tax free. $1 million. So for me, for a business, typically they profit about 50%. You would have to make between I would say about 5 million or so to net $1 million. And that's a good business, right? That's like a very good business with good spread, right? With a big spread. Typically, most business owner, they don't run a lean business. Do you guys understand the game? All right. So TikTok family, I gotta bounce. Okay. So I'm gonna end TikTok live. I'm just gonna focus on YouTube. I got a meeting. Oh man, I got about a minute left. Hold on a second. All right, YouTube family. So my whole thing is, so this is the whole thing that you guys gotta understand, my friend. So you need to focus on really building your business up. All right, really figure out what it is that you want to do. All right, so you got to focused on getting rich first. All right, you're not going to get rich by buying rental. Okay, you're not going to get rich by buying rental property. You're not going to get rich working at a job. That's how you get rich, building a business. Okay, so whether it's wholesaling or whatever it is that you want to do, my friend. But what I don't want to see you do is take the money that you've been saving, but you're still stuck at the job. Take the money that you're saving and then go and then buy a piece of rental. Because thinking that that's how it's going to set you financially free. It's not. It's not. Everybody wants to do it the easy, the lazy way. Most middle class people, I get DM every single day. You know, everybody that's making between $5,000 to $20,000 a month, right? They all said, hey, Khang, how can I get some passive income? Come on, man. you're not in a position to buy passive income. You're in a position where you need to focus on, how do I get rich? How do I turn this $5,000 a month that I'm making at the JO to B, all right, to $50,000 a month? That's what you need to focus on. Because once you're able to get to that $50,000 a month, now, my friend, you can go and you're probably having to pay 40 to 50% to Uncle Sam. That's when you're now ready to, like, hey, where do I park my money? Where do I go and park my money? So you need to shift your mindset. Make sense, YouTube? Okay. Yes, how do I make money? So for those of you want to learn how to wholesale real estate, if you haven't got my book yet, I think this is the best place for you to start. All right? So here's how you grab it. Okay? Now, if you have Kindle, you can download it for free. Just go to WTMbook.com. All right? If you're new, this is the best place to start. I literally share everything in this book for you. Exactly how to virtually wholesale with just a laptop, a phone, and internet. Let me see if I got any more time. Oh man, hold on a second. Okay, here, who here is a landlord? Who here has some rental property? Who here has some rental? Who here is a house flipper? Who here has a house flipper? Okay, the problem with you guys, with you flipper, let me tell you the problem with the house flipper. Okay, your problem is that all you know how to do is flip houses. That's your first problem. You need to learn how to wholesale. Because you know why? Because let's just say that you're working on a project, dude, and you need some cash. That's where you're getting it from, my friend. You see, looking back, my biggest problem is I was only flipping houses. So until that project finished, I cannot get it. Like, I don't have any more income coming in. But if I would have learned how to wholesale while my flip is getting done or being done or in the process of getting done, dude, I can start just pumping out some wholesale deal and start getting my active income up. So that way I'm not like penny pinching. I'm not trying to go cheap on my, my rehab, because every single time when I'm in a tight situation with money, I go cheap on my rehab. I find the cheapest contractor to work with, and boom, guess what happened? They cut corners, and it ended up costing me more money and more time. But if you know how to wholesale, dude, you can really balance it out. Here's another problem with who here buys and hold. Who here is a rent? Who here is a who here is a landlord? Who here buys and hold? Your problem is the same thing. You need to get your active income up, man. Right? So you need to learn how to wholesale. Right? You need to get your active income up. Because, dude, it's good. You need to own a lot of rentals to get to the point where you can make $10,000 to $20,000 a month. You have to own a lot, and majority of them has to be paid down. And how do you do that? How you do that, dude, is that you need to focus on your active income. Imagine if you can wholesale, get the money from wholesaling, pay down your rental, and get them down to free and clear. When they're free and clear, my friend, that is when you really, really can get some really good passive income. But how do you do that? You got to get some active income in, man. Whether it's from wholesaling, day trading, I don't care what it is, what business you're trying to build. Okay? But you need to have another stream of income to supplement. Okay? To supplement your rental or your house flipping. How can I do wholesale if I don't speak well? Dude, you see, that's a mindset problem. I did an interview with one of my students. His name is Andrew. Dude, his accents, he has a very thick accent. He's Vietnamese. He came from Vietnam. He went and learned how to speak and then learn how to wholesale at the same time. Your problem is with majority of you is that you come up with excuses more than, hey, you know what? I need to get whatever I need to get done to get that money. That's your problem. Majority of you. Your problem is you have more of excuse than making money. Like whoever just comment, unless you change your mindset, you will never win at anything. You're just not going to win, my friend. Because if you let your English, your accent holding you back, because that's something you can learn, right? You can learn to improve. But you'll be like, hey, I'm blah, blah, blah. Excuses. Andrew beat a dude. That's how many phone calls he made. 100,000 phone call. He's one of my students inside of my academy. Hey Khang, this is my son YouTube. I will be buying the WTM program when my tax hit. It should be any day now, dude. Luca, I'm excited to have you a part of my Wholesale to Million Academy, man. And I want all of you to understand this. For those of you like Khang, I love, I want to work with you and your team, right? I love the way that you teach. I want to learn how to wholesale. I want to help, I want to start my wholesaling business. I want to build it. I want to grow it. I want to scale it. Whether you are new or you inexperienced, maybe you have done a few deals, but you're like, hey, I want to get to the point where I can do a deal or one a month consistently. And you have the work ethic and you're coachable and you have that determination and that grit. Dude, I love to have you a part of the academy, man, a part of the community. Because I only want to work with people who are like similar work ethic, What other questions? What other question you guys got, man, before I log off here? But I really need you guys to understand this game though, right? The problem with me before, once again, all I knew how to do was fix and flip. And if the flip doesn't get done, I'm not getting any income coming in. So looking back, dude, if I would have learned how to wholesale, so here's the strategy I want you guys to play. Okay. Once you know how to wholesale, all right. Once you know how to wholesale, here's what I suggest that you should do. Once you start getting some incomes coming in, all right. Once you're able to stack 100K in the banky, I want you to wholesale 4 house. Okay. Wholesale 4 and then keep 1. Because what happened if you keep on wholesaling, you have to pay a lot of money to Uncle Sam. So you need to learn how can I save? How can I keep majority of the money I make? Which means now you got to go buy a rental property, man. You got to park it in a piece of asset. So stack away $100,000 in your bank first before you do anything. Then wholesale 4 house, keep 1. If you can do that, my friend, that's it. This is the way to getting rich and building wealth at the same time. Wholesale 4, keep 1. Okay. Michael said, thank you so much, man. This is exactly what I needed to hear today, Khang. I'm 19, beginning wholesaling, not having called my first list yet. So Michael, and for every single one of you, all right, I'm going to put a video in my descriptions. It's a YouTube video where I literally show you the software that I use to get my motivated seller leads nationwide. What's cool about this software is that it uses AI, which means it's able to like gather information and let you know 90 days in advance for any homeowner that's going to get in pre-foreclosure, tax lien, divorce, any financial situation. This software will let you know who it is so you can target them. That is the power of this software. It is crazy. So I'm going to put that, I'm going to put a link to that YouTube video in the descriptions. And we literally walk you through how to use the software, how to pull the list, and how to list stack. For those of you who don't know what list stacking is, if you have a very, very tight budget, you need to know how to list stack. And here's what I mean by list stacking, which means you got to stack the list. Maybe the property is vacant and it's also in pre-foreclosure. Maybe it's vacant, it's in pre-foreclosure and divorce. That is list stacking. So now you're targeting these homeowners where they have 3 problems, not just 1. not just vacant, but now it's vacant, it's in divorce, and it's in pre-foreclosure. Dude, that is when you really, really dive in. And this seller here, if you target them, dude, this is extreme motivation. So it's way like there's higher chances for you to get that property under contract at a steep discount. And in that YouTube video, we're going to show you how to pull any list, divorce, vacant, tax lien, absentee owner, pre-foreclosure. We're going to show you how to list stack that as well and how to target them as well. So I'll leave the link in the descriptions after I'm done with the live. But let's just see if you guys have any questions, and we're going to wrap this up. Once again, for those of you who's watching this, I truly hope that this video add a lot of value to you. And if it does, boom, smash that thumbs up. Any question, drop it in the comment. All right. If you're new to the family, be sure to boom, smash that subscribe button. Jared, can't pronounce. Jared said, that's my plan. It's after 200K in the bank. Wholesale 4, keep 1. Let's go, baby. Khang said, would I rent the house out to people? I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean, man. Would I rent the house out to people? I don't know what you mean. Let's see if we have any other questions. I want to make sure that I can, want to make sure. There's no more questions. Okay. I appreciate each and every single one of you that are here with me. Until next time, you guys take care, and let's go get this money.